13 years ago, a young Irishman walked into a cage against a Hawaiian nobody had really heard of yet. He won that night, but he limped away with a torn knee that would sideline him for almost a year. This month, he walked back in against the same man, and within about a minute, his knee gave out again. Here's the part nobody saw coming. When the diagnosis came back, it wasn't just similar to that first fight. It was almost a mirror image of it. Same injury, same opponent, just the other leg. Even he called it, quote, quite shocking. So let's talk about what's come out since, the real diagnosis, the comeback claim that has people arguing, and the man on the other side, now facing his own strange wave of backlash. For days after the fight, all anyone had were guesses. The knee looked bad. The promotion's boss didn't sugarcoat it. He flat out said the knee was wrecked, but nobody had the actual medical picture. Then the man himself broke the silence. He posted an update, in his own words. It was the ACL, and it was the meniscus. Two of the most important structures in the knee, both damaged, in the leg he plants and pushes off of. And then came the line that stopped everyone scrolling. This is the same injury he suffered in that very first fight, all those years ago. Only this time, the opposite leg. Think about how strange that is. Same opponent, over a decade apart. Same knee injury, different leg. You could write it in a movie, and an editor would tell you it's too on the nose to be believable. The reaction online wasn't mockery, not at first. It was something closer to disbelief. The kind you feel when a coincidence is so precise it stops feeling like a coincidence. Now here's where the conversation actually caught fire, because he didn't post that update to say goodbye. He posted it to say he's coming back. His argument goes like this: the first time this happened, he returned to competition in about 9 months. And with today's recovery methods and medical advances, he believes he can be back by next summer. He even listed the proof, point by point. He's already walking without a crutch. He's done work on the leg extension machine with no problem. He can fire that thigh muscle under resistance. To him, every one of those is a green light. And this is where the audience split right down the middle. One camp sees a fighter who's built his whole legend on doing what people said he couldn't. The other sees the calendar, the age, and a long, brutal list of setbacks, and quietly wonders if the comeback is more hope than plan. And honestly, both sides have a real point. That's what makes it interesting. It's a genuine coin flip. There's a detail in all of this that keeps nagging at people, and it deserves its own moment. By every account, he was healthy going in. His own coach said the exact move that hurt him, that opening jump kick, was something they had drilled over and over throughout the entire camp. No warning signs, no problem in training, no issue backstage. And then he throws it once, for real, and the leg simply doesn't hold. That's the part that unsettles people more than the injury itself. Because if it came out of nowhere, in perfect conditions, there's no clean explanation to point to, no shortcut he skipped, no obvious mistake to blame. He offered his own way of looking at it, and it's a strange kind of peace. He suggested that maybe the injury actually spared him from something worse, that if the night had gone differently, who knows what would have happened afterward. No sad stories, he said. Your health is your wealth. For a man known for trash talk and chaos, it landed as unusually calm, and people noticed. Now flip the camera to the other corner, because the man who won is going through something almost nobody expected. He's the one taking heat. Think about the position he's in. He gets the win, but he never really got the fight. It ended on an injury, in about a minute, in front of a crowd that paid to see a war and saw the opening exchange instead. So when he celebrated, and started calling for a third fight, a chunk of the audience turned on him. The complaint was blunt. People spent real money for a main event and, in their words, got to see almost nothing. He didn't back down. His answer was basically, I did my job, I put him on the mat and worked him over. A win is a win. But here's the more human side that got buried under the noise. In his post-fight comments, he actually sounded genuinely concerned for the man he'd just beaten. Jokes aside, he said, he just hopes he's okay, that he knows his rival has been battling a lot lately. So a fighter painted as disrespectful was, in the same breath, one of the first to wish his opponent well. The full picture is more complicated than the clips make it look. Which brings us to the question everyone actually wants answered. Do these two run it back a third time? Here's what we know. The winner has openly said he wants the trilogy, and that he's willing to sit and wait for his rival to heal. He's even hinted he may not fight again this year to keep that door open. And he's curious about something specific, the heavier version of his rival that never got to show up. He wants to see that fighter for real, not for 60 seconds. On the other side, the injured man has made his stance loud and clear. He is not walking away. In his mind, the comeback is happening, and the rematch is exactly the fight he wants. So on paper, both men want it. The only thing standing between them and a trilogy is a knee and a calendar. And the small matter of whether a fighter in his late 30s can come back from this kind of damage and be anything like the version people want to see. Which leaves us with the real question, and I want yours. Do you believe a comeback? Do you think we actually see him step back in the cage next summer, the way he's promising? Or is this the setback the sport doesn't come back from? And if he does return, does the trilogy finally give us the fight we were robbed of this time? Or should this rivalry have ended 13 years and 2 torn knees ago? Tell me where you land. I read the comments, and this one's genuinely too close to call.